Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Major League Baseball. For those that don't know, those that aren't sports fans, Major League Baseball is the professional sports. They're in charge of the professional sports teams that play baseball. Now, I want to talk to you guys about the drug testing and why they do the drug testing and the consequences. The first thing is, someone that tests positive for drugs, that we know tests positive for drugs, should they make the Hall of Fame? So first over here we have our guy Roger Clemens, a 300 winner, 300 game winner.
4,000
What?
4,000 strikeouts.
4,000 strikeouts. Won some Cy Young awards. Problem with him was, everyone knows he juiced up, right? And a lot of the voters do not want to vote for him. The writers weren't interested, so Barry Bonds also. Barry Bonds is a home run leader, hit the most home runs in Major League Baseball history. And we also have a current player who's under the gun and will be facing the same consequences as A-Rod. Now, there have been many opinions about this. Roger Clemens had my opinions on. But Barry Bonds is the one I want to actually hold off for a second, because Barry Bonds, in my opinion, no matter however you want to put it, is the greatest talent out there in our generation. No matter whether he juiced up or not. And I personally think he should make the Hall of Fame, but the writers.
You saying juicing doesn't enhance talent? Talent has to be innate.
I believe his talent was innate, meaning he may hit more home runs because of it. His knowledge of the
Which
strike.
is his whole thing.
What?
His big thing is,
No, but
hit the most home runs in ever.
that wasn't his whole thing. His whole thing, I believe, was his knowledge of the strike zone.
He would have made the Hall of Fame, but
Right,
the fact
I
that
agree.
he's
That's what you're saying. You would have been
Roger
the Hall of Fame regardless.
Clemens, his 95 mile per hour fastball and 98 mile per hour fastball maybe stayed because he had because he maybe juiced up.
So you're saying it elongated his career by, let's say, 5 years?
Ooh, Roger Clemens?
Yeah, in other words, he was a legit 95 mile an hour fastball guy.
Right.
It's just that after 12 or 13 years, he should have gone down to 90.
Right,
But the
or
fact that
89,
or 89, but the fact that he juiced up
Right.
extended his career.
I don't think I ever took away Barry Bonds or enhanced his vision. His plate vision, his plate discipline, maybe hit more home runs, maybe.
But that's why he's
I
being
disagree-
inducted,
I
no?
disagree with you.
He's only getting in. He's only being voted in because of the number of home runs he hit.
He would have hit.
He would have
over
been voted in,
600
but
home
would-
runs anyway.
would he
Would have? Is that
Maybe not 700.
He was on pace before he started
Right.
for about 430.
Okay.
430 is still a lot.
It's a lot, but it's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Why not? Are you about the hits?
Let's not debate the guys. This is not something we could debate. This is something the writers would have debated.
No.
But go on.
That's just my opinion. A-Rod, we'll see what happens.
I'm with you, Kramer.
It's fine. All the love. Now, what about someone we're not sure about? Let's listen in.
Welcome to the show. Someone just called and said that you were on a show recently and said about Piazza, we're talking about Piazza not getting in today, that players told you that Piazza had done steroids. Is that accurate? Yes. Is that enough? Did you feel comfortable enough with that that you feel that, was that enough evidence for you? Do you think that's good enough that they said they saw him do steroids, or they just thought he did steroids?
They said he did steroids. It was a number of players.
That said they Mike did, so you think they, how would they know Mike did steroids though?
Well, that's a good question, Mike. Bottom line is that there were players in the major leagues who played against him. I can't remember if there was anybody who played with him, but and it was more than just one or two. That definitively said, in their opinion, he did steroids. Now, these players weren't saying this about anybody else. So, I always had my doubts about Piazza, even though there was no positive testing, and he wasn't listed in the Mitchell report. And my feeling was, I'm going to withhold my vote, and I'll give you a reason for that.
Go ahead.
The classic example being Alex Rodriguez. Here was a guy that told everybody he never did steroids, and then he confessed it to the feds, But he did this.
Yeah, but he had failed the test. You had him on a failed test in 2004, which we all know about.
No, but he said to the feds, he testified to the feds that he's been doing something like that for the game.
Listen, we know there is evidence against A-Rod, against Bonds, against other guys, that there's no brainers. Clemens, Bonds, A-Rod. But Piazza...
Let me give you an example. Let me make this a little clearer about Alex Rodriguez, okay? We didn't know anything about what he was doing with the Yankees until his whole biogenesis thing came out. Now, my concern was...
Well, wait, no, you know he failed the test in 2004.
I know that, but as far as all this other stuff, doing steroids...
Right, but I'm not interested in Alex today. I'm interested in Piazza.
I'm trying to explain this to you, Mike.
I'm not getting the connection.
My
Go ahead.
concern was, I've had so many people say to me, you know, you guys have probably already voted somebody into the Hall of Fame with steroids. Can't Jose Canseco running around the country telling people that there are at least 4 players he knows that are in the Hall of Fame with steroids.
That's probably true.
I didn't want to be in a situation where I feel like everybody I voted for, in my mind, didn't do steroids, okay? Now, let's just say that I voted for Mike Piazza, and now 3 or 4 years down the road, there comes up another biogenesis-like scandal in which a bunch of players are revealed to have been doing this as a buying steroids. That's the thing that I was concerned
But
about.
isn't he innocent until proven guilty, Bill? I mean, you don't have
All right,
any, we don't have any
so
proof that Mike ever did steroids.
This, first of all, just to, Mike Francesa is the #1 sports talk in the country, basically, and Bill Madden is one of the writers who happens to be probably one of the most strict voters out there. Now, this is what took Mike Piazza so long until this year. That audio was from last year when he didn't get inducted for the 3rd time already. The question is, we're not sure. Someone may have taken, someone may have not. Do you vote him in? Mike Francesa was saying, well, we don't have any evidence. Why hold him in? Why hold him out? Bill Madden was like, I don't want to vote for anybody that I think may have taken steroids. And he thought he had good proof. Again, it depends. Whatever, different strokes, different folks. But that was over there. That's what took Mike Piazza so long. He has been inducted this year. He was inducted this week into the Hall of Fame.
Boy, he had a lot of hits, home runs. What was he?
He had most of the runs as a catcher, and in general, he was a 300 hitter almost every year. Now, getting to the drug policy. First of all, why does MLB do drug testing? So, MLB, we really believe that MLB lost a lot of its credibility due to the drug era, to the PEDs, and they want to gain back their credibility. And so one of the ways of...
And you think this lack of credibility has led to the football becoming the #1 pastime and passing the,
That's part of it. It's part of it. I do think another thing is football. One of the things that baseball has been missing, this is just a side point, until the recent years, was...
Action.
Besides action, I think football always was into technology, reviewing plays, if there was necessary. Baseball for a long
That's
time...
the interesting part of football.
What?
Dude,
Yosef, let him speak.
Sorry.
For a long time, baseball had this old-fashioned, they're still drinking seltzer. They didn't want to do replays. Everything was through the eye. Nothing, they didn't want to use technology for a long time. But I do believe that drug testing did bring back some credibility, and I do believe also for a few other reasons that brought back credibility. Now, just to go through their...
Also, one more point. Do you think possibly baseball has become less popular in that football gives you more action in a shorter period of time than Major League Baseball? Because you think maybe Major League Baseball is too long of a season? Maybe they should shorten it by a month or two?
I don't know. I don't think it's the season, it's the games. The games, meaning, because if football was played, 365 days a year, I still think people would watch it. In my opinion. So, for the drug policy, now they've gotten strict over the years. When it first started, the first offense was only 10 games. And it turned to 50. Now already the first offense is 80 games. Someone that's caught the first time, 80 games. Second time, full season, 162 games. Third offense is lifetime ban. Now, something they added last year, very important. It used to be that if he finished his suspension, He could be on the playoff roster, no issue. Any player suspended due to PEDs is not eligible for the postseason. It could have been in the beginning of the year, it could have been in the middle of the year, it could have been at the end of the year. Doesn't make a difference. Not eligible. This is what I gotta say about this person. This guy, Henry Mejia, and of course he pitches for my team because that's who I am. I'm an idiot, I'm a Met fan. This guy got suspended at the beginning of last year, 80 games. He tested positive, and of course he gave dumb excuses. He had no idea what was in his body, you know, the same old garbage. But he came back. 5 days later, guess what happened? Got suspended again, second offense. He scored one more time, he'll have a lifetime ban for baseball. Now, just to add one thing before I finish off over here, the integrity of the game. This is why they do the drug testing. Integrity of baseball is not just with the drugs. If you go back, Pete Rose, he just got denied again entry back into baseball. He had a lifetime ban from baseball because of his gambling issues. And baseball thought again, the commissioner, they believe that protecting the integrity of the game is the main part of what their main mission, and that's what they're going to keep it. That's how they are going to keep it. Sorry.